Tell me one thing you'd want people to remember about you.
I think I'd like people to remember that I was fun and full of life, that I created lots of entertainment, you know, I'm a good hostess, that sort of thing, made people feel welcome and good about themselves.
All right. Second question, what is your greatest passion?
I'm most passionate about music, anything to do with music, live concerts, listening to vinyl, sharing bands and songs. I'm quite evangelical about it.
Okay. Why did you move to London?
I moved to London. I'd always wanted to live here. I started off in a small town called Falkirk. There's about 200,000 people. It's a commuter town, but I felt that it was quite close-minded. There was a few friends who had similar interests as me, but we all moved to cities, to Edinburgh or Glasgow as soon as we could, and I lived there for about 7 years. I passed up the opportunity to move here when I was 21 and I regretted it. So when the opportunity came again when I was 30, it was definitely something I wanted to do, yeah.
So, what do you love about London?
I love the diversity. I love that it's always busy, or it always feels busy. I'm a bit of a history buff, so I love feeling that you can be wandering around an area and sort of periods of time cross over. I work in Farringdon, and I find it very comforting that there's a plaque to where William Wallace was killed, and it's covered in Scottish flags. And then you can turn a corner and you'll be at Dr. Johnson's house, where he started the dictionary. And all these layers of time cross over in London, and at the same time it's really kind of vibrant and creating trends and creating new things as well.
Okay. What would you change about London?
I would change a lot of the inequality. I'd really dislike inequality, and here I see huge differences in people's wealth, what's available to them. And I'd also change what I see is like there's a dumbing down, there's a cultural homogenisation happening. All these like Honest Burger is opening in every little part of London. And that's really scary. And also there's a lot of killing off of nightclubs and live music venues in London for the sake of people buying up the property, which I really dislike.
So more culture maybe, more
just
social life.
I think more people have to have an opportunity to contribute to the culture. It's becoming quite elite. And if you went to the right school or you have enough money, then you can intern at a magazine, or you can work, you can go into the arts, and it's a big problem.
Could you enjoy life more, do you think?
Yeah, I think everyone in London struggles to get a balance in their life because you have to work long hours and stuff. But I'm happy in my life. I managed to do things that I enjoy. But I'd like to come home early of an evening more often.
So what do you think is the thing that is stopping you from like fully enjoying your life?
I think you have responsibilities because you have to pay a mortgage and you have to turn up to work every day. I think if people worked 4 days a week or they worked 3 days a week and they could have interests, they could pursue their own interests rather than just work.
Okay. Do you ever feel lonely?
I've felt lonely quite often in London for various reasons. You find that a lot of your friends live in different parts, they're not as close to you, or you find yourself socialising with people that maybe there's language barriers or cultural barriers, things like that. But it's very easy to then get distracted in London and to meet. It is easy to meet people. It's difficult to sustain the relationships, I think.
Okay. So, what do you think is the world's biggest problem right now? Like according to you, it doesn't.
Right. I think that the younger generation are being mediated to, and they don't understand, or they're not being given the skills to question what they read or see or hear on TV. I have young nieces and nephews, and it scares me that they're not challenging the validity of Kim Kardashian and things like that. I think they should be taught in school.
No one is pushing them to use their own mind and to maybe question something. And the last question, If I handed you £1 million right now, what would you do?
I would buy a chalet in France, in the Alps, in a village that I used to live in, and I would run it, and then I would make sure my family were okay, that they had their houses paid for.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Cheers.
Enjoy.